Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Barker, and I'm the Fuel Safety Engineering Specialist for TSSA. We often get the question, what is the difference between a marina and a private fuel outlet? A marina is where you're dispensing fuel into floating motorized watercraft that are actually on the water. If you're dispensing into other land-based vehicles, then you're either a private fuel outlet or some sort of retail site like a full-serve or a self-serve gas station. Now, a private fuel outlet, or sometimes people will refer to it as a PFO, is a place where they're dispensing fuel, but there's no retail sale of the fuel. So they are using the fuel for their own purposes. For example, it could be a fire station. They're filling up their own fire trucks, or a Purolator company filling up their own fleet of service vehicles. If it's an unusual one would be a logging company, and our inspectors have been to sites where the logging operation, let's say it's ABC Logging Company, but they're selling fuel to some of their contract jobbers. In that case, they would not be a private fuel outlet, they would be a retail outlet, and they would have to be licensed. So if you're fueling any motorized watercraft and it's on the water, then that facility has to be classified as a marina, and you have to have a license to run that marina. Marinas have special requirements in the code because the tanks have to be closer to the water than is normally allowed because you have to fuel the boats. It's a practical situation. You may have a situation where someone has their boat on a trailer, so they've pulled into a service station to fill up. But that would not be a marina. The boat is not on the water. So that's the basic distinction. So if the boat is on the water and you're filling the fuel tank, it's a marina. There is a special section in the Liquid Fuels Handling Code that deals with marinas. Some of the different things some of the requirements that are a bit different for marinas is the distance that a tank can be located to the water. It has to be 5 meters from the annual high water mark. And this is very different for practical purposes. For a normal gas station or a card lock or anything of that nature, the tanks would have to be at least 30 meters from water. So you can see there's a big difference. One of the signs at a marina requires that that only the fuel attendant be on board when they're filling the tank. So you can't have a passenger staying on the boat while you're filling the fuel tank. So all retail facilities must have a license under the regulation. Private fuel outlets do not. There was a major change in the legislation in 2001. Prior to that, the old Gasoline Handling Act required that private fuel outlets where they had underground tanks, that those tanks had to be registered. But that got dropped in the 2001 change to the regulation. So today, a private fuel outlet does not require a license to operate, and the underground tanks do not have to be registered with us. However, all private fuel outlets and retail outlets are still governed by the Liquid Fuels Handling Code, so they have to comply with all the applicable sections of the code. To recap, a marina is where you're dispensing fuel into floating motorized watercraft that are actually on the water. If you're dispensing into other land-based vehicles, then you're either a private fuel outlet or some sort of retail site like a full-serve or a self-serve gas station.